when you embody yourself with radical acceptance, you don't lose integrity or your compass you love. And when the herald of change, the horseman, comes about, you are ready to confront the tension and to create a symbiosis from it and the climate it creates. You move along your journey creating alliances from everything and with everyone that crosses your path. This is thanks to integration of the brain, restorative embodiment, and secure attachment with self and others in all of your relationships, beginning with you. Okay, so when you have secure attachment, a restorative embodiment, integration of brain, I'm attachment trauma informed, and I support people on personal development and self-help. And there's a lot more I'm going to read to you, but we are here to build a community of people that want to be their infinite higher human conscious potential experience. And as a 5D mystic, I am your woo-woo pseudoscience lovely podcast host lady, functional adult, the pseudoscience. I bring human, spirit, and spirituality elements together, and I'm attachment trauma informed. So when people say, Maria, I find it hard to believe that the 1-year-old, 2-year-old, and 3-year-old matter, I leave it alone because I have learned and keep learning from attachment trauma experts. So if I know of people who believe that yoga brings demons out of them, I'll be like, look, I'm a 5D mystic. As you can tell, there's no demon. But hey, you know what? I don't know what to tell you. Oh, yes, I do. Peter Levine, trauma, memory, and charges stored in the body, bones, muscles, and tissues. So yoga, also Stephen Porges, come on in, is a portfolio of ventral, vagal, state, nervous system toning exercises. Okay, so here's where we're going to read a little bit. I am, and then we'll maybe talk a bit, or I'll make another episode. Okay, so when you move along the journey of life easily, it's always expanding love, which is why we don't have sagas with our twin flames. I'm a divine feminine with my own divine masculine. Then of my entire oversoul, I'm the divine feminine, and every one of us has both, by the way. You, again, find yourself not here if you are going to have what is called childhood trauma. Okay, so if you need to find yourself due to childhood trauma having brought about the loss of your secure attachment compass, okay, which leads to a not securely attached person who does not, in fact, know radical acceptance. No, it's a person who will not be securely attached in any way, shape, or form, and they will only know dysregulation, hypervigilant, and push and pull unhealthy codependent type relationships and fear of love. So when they meet a person that's authentic and a whole self, they call us a bitch, a witch, evil, not evil, whatever it is. This is where unconditional love. I did try to tell my 4D mystics, the ones who are on the Elsa journey with mantles, they think that there's superheroes and supervillains and somebody needs saving. So, I said, unconscious is a thing, and I know there's no evil. I told God about it, and today I have a Michael Stone forensic criminologist who proves it to me, and so do the attachment trauma information people. Okay, so when people meet unconditional love, I don't say, oh, I meant to trigger you. No, I'm actually going to notice if you're afraid of love, and I'm going to leave you alone. That way you can keep on running your show, because there's plenty of good therapy information for free online that talks about the importance of childhood trauma and how people date beneath themselves, even though I'm going to say they're all people, so nobody's beneath anyone. But I get what Patrick Tiahan, he's a childhood trauma survivor, healing, and he's a good therapist, and he tries to share with all of his community. Remember, there's cowardice, emotionally lazy people, the ones who will not want to do any of it, and they're going to give you crap about you knowing about what it is to be a human, which is love, and that the people who don't know how to do healthy boundaries don't know love at all. This is why we don't feel bad if a love-dependent, manipulative, desperate person comes around and tries to point out, you're an evil bitch. No, I consistently communicated by not engaging with you at all that I was not interested in any type of acquaintanceship, friendship, relationship. Now, the fact that 3 years down the line, you're drunk and you're able to bring to me a discourse of, am I not decent enough to be said hello to? I behave like a decent human being, say hello to you. give you a hug that I didn't say yes to. That I, at this point, am just thinking, I don't want to make my evening unpleasant. So either I get up and leave, or I give this human being a hug. And then by the third attempt at being a desperate, manipulative, drunk human being man who's not bothering me, you're just somebody that I'm thinking, how old are you at this point? Because you look like you're older than me, but you're behaving in a way that I didn't even, as a teenager, see, I didn't engage with any one of these. This is where they would see me. No, I'm not around you at all. The only reason this is happening, what I'm telling a story that my lovely regular viewers know, is because I'm put on the spot in a way that I completely could have, it could have been completely avoided. But you know what happens when there's people who don't believe. I find it hard to believe that my 1-year-old wants to be an independent lover. Yes, sure. Okay, so porous, love dependent men, women, and they like to hang out with love dependent people, and that's why they do what is basically teenager attitude for me. It's not even mean girls, because see, again, mean doesn't mean anything in my world. My world knows MEAN/UNKIND, unkind. Yeah, with Ness, I saw it. Teenager, yep, I chose. I'm going to treat you the way I want to be treated. You don't know how to love, not the other way around. I know what you're doing. Jesus told me to forgive, and God told me to be humble. And then I'm going to stay away from you. So in 3 years, staying away from a human being who then is found themselves drunk, found themselves rejected, find themselves being basically what is a passive aggressive, love dependent, manipulative. I was not bothered. My heart's open right now. I was just like, wow, what an evening. Guess what? By the third time, I know, okay, not only do we have a saying in Italian, it's you give a person a finger, they're going to take the hand. No, they're going to take the whole arm. And I've been in this experience before. It takes one time for a person who's expanding consciousness to learn things, because we're actually healthy self-worth. So this is where you can get, if you get to your true compass. And it's called I love all people. Doesn't mean I'm going to be friends with all people, because desperate, manipulative people are actively in a way of, thank you, Stephen Porges, their safety behavior. I'm not talking to a Cusco. The ears aren't even hearing me. I'm just going to, it's hard to believe. Yeah, hard to believe. You can keep walking. So three's a charm. As the drunk human being, the entire night is pinpointing and picking at me in little ways as I move away from them, and clearly make statements of, yes, I don't want to be around you. I like here. I like over here. And so, I'm trying to really just move away and hang out with the other people that I'm around. And the third time is a charm. As they state, well, we're going to become friends eventually because we frequent here and we go out here. And I say, no, we're not going to become friends. We're not even going to become acquaintances. Yes, we do frequent the same bar, and therefore I will see you, but we will not be exchanging much. And that's when they got to say, see, you're putting up barriers. And I got to say, no, I'm just telling you how it is. Thank you. And I move away again. And lo and behold, that's where I saw them eventually, and I nodded my head so that decent human being with a chip on their shoulder could be like, okay. And in fact, their passive aggressive way was, well, at least I got a hello. And I just turned around and kept talking to whoever I was talking. So that's what happens when people grow up to be 50 and above, and they don't grow up. They stay Cuscos, and they could use good therapy, personal development, who knows? In the meantime, I'm not offended. I find it interesting, because that's the only word I can say when a person doesn't notice themselves in a way of, that just looks ridiculous, don't you think? But then there's a trauma experts. Let me read. Okay, so if you need to find yourself, this human being has not found themselves. They were lost as a teenager, and that's because of fear of inadequacy, which every adolescent will have. I didn't have it. I learned, you're all unreliable because you don't know how to regulate your nervous systems. I ain't hanging out with any of you. You don't listen to me. I'm going to hang out with the ones who hear my words and they don't mess with me, because I don't know how to take a joke, because I don't know jokes. I still don't know jokes. But now I'm a grown-up, so I laugh about it with people. I say, look, I don't know jokes. I'm going to be dumb. If you're frustrated, let me know so I don't come around you, because I know you're going to answer me with an attitude because you're upset and you're going to think I'm dumb, and it's okay that I'm dumb. I don't understand jokes. I don't need to explain my brain to you. I mean, I can. You can keep teasing all you want. I still am going to, so this is the part of where some of us, we know what subjective experiences mean. And that's why in here, open heart. So my words don't mean anything. What matters is what's happening in the body. And as I'm sharing it with you, I'm breathing, I'm at ease. People will notice when I'm getting passionate. I notice because I hear my tone. This is the other part. Hearing your tone, I can hear mine. That's because I'm self aware and accountable and I don't have shame. When people have childhood trauma, they are not used to being seen. So, if they need to find themselves due to childhood trauma having brought about the loss of your secure attachment compass, which leads to a not securely attached person who only knows dysregulation, hypervigilance, push and pull, unhealthy and codependent type relationships, and fear of love, well, the IHP community and the 5D collective of mystics and not are here. We have your back, and you can get back home to your true self, to that secure attachment and healthy self-worth relationships, to loving love and not fearing it, because your body and your brain, your embodied brain is, by the way, trying to get you back home. Okay, so we do this with personal development, holistic and mystic approaches that involves lifestyle exercises, mindset exercises, and a lot more, alongside obviously good therapists if somebody is with a good therapist. And that's because some of that trauma, childhood stuff does require a combination of efforts. So it's always good. I'm attachment trauma informed. And we get to learn about how to lead a life with secure attachment with yourself, first of all. And then that's also with others, though, because you're going to learn how in your relationships you can self-regulate. But you're going to want to identify other stuff too, okay? So come hear about healthy self-worth with yourself, what true partnerships are all about, what loving relationships are in safety, and not in the threat state that comes from dysregulated and dysfunctional nervous system states of people who keep their unresolved trauma, adaptive child, maladaptive child behavior going. So we talk about the differences like I just did. I shared with you what is an adaptive child for sure, unhealthy boundaries, love desperate person with manipulative desperate tactics who was brought about by others who have the same ding ding ding, because you have to have a bell for it. And healthy self-worth, we don't engage with anyone who doesn't know at least a bare minimum of decency with basically, if I have not saluted you at all and you actually have the audacity 3 years down the line to mention it, wow. I'm just saying, like, I don't even know what to tell you, because out of this group, there's 3 of them. This is the only one who actually made it a point to mention something. The other 2 figured it out. Back, complete no issue whatsoever. One completely stays away. They know. The other doesn't say, let me become your friends. No, they became friends with the ding, 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 ding bell. So that's that, okay? Yeah, we don't perpetuate any type of cycle. So I treat people with decency. Doesn't mean I want to be your friend. Okay, the ones who instead say, no, I find it hard to believe that the first 3 years of your life mean anything. Yeah, well, I find it hard to believe that. I still need to hear that. But okay, it's 2024. And therefore, there is no need to perpetuate cycles of traumatic, codependent, unhealthy self-worth relationships or dynamics at this point of our human history's time, unless you want to believe that yoga brings demons out of you, which, hey, you know, I find that there's a lot of people that believe that. Like Reiki is an evil energy or some shit like that. Yeah, sure, okay. So flat earthers, anyone? Because, I mean, I know I'm woo-woo because I have a complete life full of mysticism, but I also know of the relational field and physics and quantum physics and lovely Dr. Daniel Siegel and our relational field and how the unconscious is in the energy. And so I can pick it up. It don't destabilize me because I don't have a superhero cape. I have a Maria cape, and it's not even a cape. Look, I'm wearing a dress. Here at IHP and the 5D Collective, again, we like to hear about and learn about how we love. I'm love. Doesn't mean you're going to like me. If you don't have authentic self-desire, you're not. You're going to be like, that's a bitch. That's a witch. That's a person who's so cocky. Sure. We also talk about sciences and spirituality. They come together. That's why I'm the pseudoscience lady. It's just not bullshit. But if you're a smart human being, you know where to find quantitative data. You also know the difference between quantitative and qualitative, which is why you also know 97% of everything in the world is unviewable. It's dark matter, dark energy. So really, you're going to be smart enough to know how, anything goes, and your ass can't fall out of your head, and vice versa. It's only for people who don't have left and right. Because, see, for me, left and right come together because we deal with uncertainty, unexpected, and unwanted all the time with our right mode and say, yeah, I got human condition. It's secondary consciousness. I know that I'm going to die, and I don't want to. Not at all. And I faced that when I was a kid. Thank you, Marcus Aurelius. So when you can deal with uncertainty like this, come on over, or if you want to, obviously, that's when you're going to be like, wow, I find it hard to believe. Sure, yes, okay, find it hard to believe. Please go and hang out with more unhealthy self worth people and leave us alone because we like love, for real, not the fear love kind. Human suffering love is not love, it's the 1 year old. Every person's 1 year old was expecting something different than the human suffering love, let me tell you. Every person's 1 year old was expecting consistent, contingent communication. Check, I got that. That's why I got this right here. So you bring it on, the change. Change, what change? What are you bringing me? Are you bringing me wind? Okay. Every 1 year old wanted to learn self-regulation in ventral vagal state. Here you go. When my panic attacks, I've learned how to be comfortable in the uncomfortable to the extent of continuing to be comfortable in the uncomfortable with my eyes. Because people don't know how to be comfortable in the uncomfortable. So here's where when they do that, then my nervous system is now working double because I'm picking up on me, picking up on them, picking up on a room, and now I need to differentiate like Daniel Siegel taught me, and that takes me about 15 to 20 minutes to do, but I do it. And I just let people know, hey, if I run out, just know I'm running out for a reason. Don't chase me, please. Leave me alone. And I don't chase you, by the way, if you run away. It's okay. I'm going to leave you go. I don't want to make you afraid of love. You're already afraid of it. Every 1 year old wanted to feel safe in their body and with emotions. You know, they definitely wanted to feel love for self and others and to feel safe in relationships. So that's attachment system for you. No 1 year old was planning on feeling defective or unsafe. No 1 year old was planning to disconnect from the emotional body. No 1 year old was planning to learn to regulate in dysregulating and consistently navigate between sympathetic and dorsal vagal. Those are hypervigilant states, and it's on and off, and it's not pretty because 1 minute you're on a high, the next minute you're on a low, and your body keeps shutting on and off and on and off because, you know, it's like a light bulb, but you're electric. Sympathetic means you're completely tired out. At a certain point, it needs to shut down. And so that's where those relationships, they're just tiresome. No 1 year old was planning to self-soothe in unhealthy ways to cope with gut wrench, self-loathing, torn apart feelings inside the midline of the body, or to feel numbness and void. No 1 year old was planning on living push and pull, hypervigilant, toxic relationships the entirety of their life. No 1 year old had words to say anything to the body or the brain or the mind that did not get securely attached. That 1 year old embodied brain was only able to store sensations of fear and terror at being alive and having others around that were unsafe. And so it learned dysregulation, defectiveness, that's shame, and to fear others and love. That's what happens to all these people who do the human suffering love. They don't know their 1 year old doesn't want to be there. It's trying to get home to itself. Every 1 year old was meant to embody love through secure attachment and to be love, not fear it, to not fear relationships or connections, and to know healthy self-worth in all of their facets through our relationships together. So luckily, there's securely attached 1 year old right here who has the words and the knowledge to share this with everyone. It's called Attachment Trauma Educational Courses. I love all of them. I still go with more. I have more. So all people were born with an attachment system that did not plan on having fear of self, others, or love. Your body, like mine, is meant to embody love in secure attachment. Our mammalian nature and heritage, as people of the same herd, we are meant to come together and sit together to create homes, neighborhoods, families. Being securely attached is how everybody expected to grow up, and luckily, again, for everybody, I'm playing with words, everybody, healthy self-worth relationships in life is available. You can lead that and get home to yourself because that attachment system is not fixed. The self of you is a verb when you work with the mind, and mindfulness helps that. It helps integration of the brain, and it helps you to work with your window of tolerance, okay? And so with that, in time and healthy self-worth relationships, so navigating your life with people who know how to self-regulate, you find your true self, bring forth that inner child adult with functional adult love language, and you lead a healthy self-worth life with people and others. And FYI, I totally had rewritten this in some parts, but for some reason it didn't save it. And on that note, when you meet people, like the story I told you, I have no words right now. I'm going to think about that when we're going to have another episode. All I can tell you is a healthy self worth woman will have done, okay, sure, you told me I wasn't clear. I'll make it clear then. If there's one thing I've learned throughout my years with my oversoul is how many times he said, she said, she said, she said. This is why for me it's bullshit, because anytime I find it hard to believe, okay, you know what? Can I go now? Because I'm pretty sure I'm in front of something I don't want to be anymore because it's boring. It's boring. I have all the data. I had it when I was a teen. I have it now that I'm a grown up. I'm really just tired of the suffering. It's an excuse. It's just a lame. Oh yes, that's right. There's people. We're fucked up. Sure, you're fucked up. I'm not. I don't got laundry here. And I didn't do anything special, but I did get born with a twin and a mom who gave me a child-centric environment. Excuse me, I got lucky. You know, yeah, that's how it works. I have panic attacks. How does she have panic attacks? Her life is so perfect. Yes, it is perfect. My body is doing something called protecting me. It's okay. I'm not angry at my body. My body is. This is the part. Use your name. Don't use a cape. None of us are superheroes. We're superhumans, and we don't need the super. Anytime somebody needs to add an adjective or whatever they're called to make it look prettier, I'm like, don't you know your name? Aren't you okay with just being a person? Like just Just. I'm just a person. This is your mammalian heritage. The one reason I'm here is because I have a child-centric environment and a twin. I'm going to determined. I'm going to use that qualitative data right now. So I don't believe in any evil out there. No, there's this Michael Stone forensic criminologist scale. I grew up with Jesus and God. It was very straightforward. I told God, people aren't humble, God, and I don't see them forgiving, God. And hey, God, you know what? I'm seeing a lot of hypocrisy and I'm seeing a lot of grandiosity. Hey, God, I see a lot of 714 charming and I see a lot of childhood trauma survivors falling for it. So, how about, hey, God, I know how to use my brain because I want to help people to be their self. Actually, I'm supporting them because I realize that I can't help no one who doesn't want to get home to themselves. If people don't want to get to human love, we don't need to do anything. Sadhguru says it differently. He says, we're not here to affect states of consciousness, as if there's some famous law somewhere. And I'm like, yeah, it's more like, hey, you got a choice point. If you feel that I'm a piece of shit, you can tell it to me one in my face. Let's have a talk about it. How about that? And have some balls and vaginas. And really, that's not what anyone will have, because really, once that happens, I'm more like, wow, you find what hard to believe? Yeah, you know, I'm the stupid lady. Don't you know I'm woo woo? And so here's the thing, we all have a journey in life. Mine is, do you want to be yourself? Because it's really fun, and I know how to be a decent human being, and I know how to make friends, and I choose my friends. And anyone who wants to say, you don't love everyone, love is about secure attachment, and I'm securely attached when I'm in the presence of unhealthy self-worth human beings who act like Cuscos, because I'm a pacha, which is what you get to learn here. It's not a cocky thing, it's a, wow. Now that's fascinating. So we have a bunch of Cuscos coming in and out. Anytime I get sat down and I get questioned, I'm like, am I being interrogated? Ooh, what am I going to find out today about you? Because I'm not a mirror. I'm just waiting for your question now that I figured out what to look for. Because I didn't know what questioning was before. Then I had about four situations go down. And so now I'm like, okay, you might be able to catch it next time, Maria. But I'm planning on not being around people like that. Come on over if you want secure attachment and love in life, because it's really fun over here. And don't find it hard to believe, please. Flat earthers, I love you, but come on. You can use your brains for other stuff. And so could the 4D mystics. They don't want to. It's okay. Come over, the 1-year-olds who want their inner child to live a beautiful life. It's fun over here to truly love. The ones who want to fear love, well, you know, it is what it is. We're going to have an episode for that one. Thanks for stopping by.